everybody, and welcome to this week's employment prep class. I'm Nancy, and today we're going to talk about an important part of time management, which is priorities, learning what's a priority and how to plan for priorities. Time management is an important soft skill for all employees at all jobs. People who manage their time well are more efficient, they're less stressed, they get more done, their bosses like them better because they get more done. They arrive on time, they take their breaks on time, and they meet deadlines when they have a lot of things to do. So, learning to manage your time better is going to make you a better employee. Plus, it's good at home too. We'll talk about that in a minute. Managing your time is important in life too, as well as on the job. It'll make you a better employee and you'll get more done at work and at home. Use time management at home and on the job to be more successful. There's four basics that I'm going to talk about. There's a lot of ways to manage your time, but I try to break it down and make it easier for you. The first part is prioritizing your tasks, thinking about how important tasks are and making a plan for those tasks. Scheduling the most important tasks first, things that are due first with deadlines, that's prioritizing. Scheduling, using alarms on your phone or your watch to keep track of your time. Planning your tasks and knowing how long they're going to take. Sometimes you have to do them first to know how long they're going to take, but kind of knowing, well, it took me 2 hours last time. So you kind of know that how long it's going to take you to get things done. The third one on here is to-do lists are super important. I have a ton of them. I use them all the time. And if I don't get everything done in one day, then I put that thing on the next list. And it's great feeling to cross things off of a list and get everything done. So to-do lists are great. Do the most important things on your list first, things that are due first, things that are the hardest sometimes we can do first, and put off the unimportant things for tomorrow or to do later, or maybe don't do them at all. The fourth thing on here is pacing your work. And that's, again, keeping track of the time it takes you to do a job and planning your work. Like if you have to do 100 boxes, pack 100 boxes in a day, you know you should be about half done with those boxes at lunchtime. If you're not, you need to talk to your manager, knowing that you're going to have a hard time finishing by the end of the day. Don't waste. And sorry about that. Another part of time management is taking your breaks. Don't skip your breaks trying to get everything done. Not only is it the law that you take your breaks, but it's important for your health to take your breaks. So make sure that you're taking your breaks and that you're coming back from your breaks on time. Again, that's good time management. Today, we're going to talk about prioritizing, thinking about how important tasks are and making a plan based on the priority, prioritizing. We're going to schedule the most important tasks, the things that are due first, but there's some other ways to tell which jobs should be a priority. We're going to talk about that right now. What does priority even mean? Move myself here. Okay. A priority is something that is more important than other things. It needs to be done first. It sounds like priority. Priority. Say that with me. Priority. This job is a priority. My break is a priority. Okay? To prioritize, it's hard for even me to say, but it's an important word that I want you to learn. Prioritizing is the act of planning things based on the importance of the task, how important these jobs are, how important these different things are, which is more important. That's called prioritizing. And right here is the pronunciation prioritize. Prioritize. Say that with me. Prioritize. I'm going to prioritize these tasks. This job is a priority. Okay, that's priority. Prioritizing at work. I used to just do safety, customer service, and coworkers, but I added manager direction to this list because if a manager tells you to do something, you want to get on it right away if they tell you it needs to be done right now. If your manager or supervisor gives you a task to do right now, that takes priority over everything else that you're doing. But it's okay to ask questions. If you're in the middle of something else, you can ask them, do you want me to stop what I'm doing? And they'll tell you yes or no. At that point, the prioritizing is their responsibility, which is okay, right? It's their job. So communication is super important. If you're not sure whether they mean right now or when you're done with what you're doing, ask, do you want me to stop what I'm doing and switch to the task you just gave me? Whatever that may be. Maybe not, right? Again, it's up to the manager. But their directions take precedence over all these other things on this list. If a manager tells you to do something that you don't think is a priority, you can tell them that, but still it's their decision. Like I think this is more of a priority, but be careful with that because it really is their decision. So when you do not have direct manager direction, you just have a lot of different things to do. Your job is to do all these different things around your business. Then you have to come up with priorities yourself sometimes. And safety is the number one priority at every job, at every employer. If you are in charge of cleaning up messes or even guarding messes for someone else to come clean up, that takes precedence over everything else. It's a priority. Safety is the number one priority. If you've got broken glass or something, that is more important than customer service, even. Don't leave safety hazards because you've got other priorities. The safety is the priority. Making sure that people don't get hurt in your business is the number one priority. Okay. Second one is your customer service. Now, a lot of things make up customer service, not only just talking to customers and actually helping customers, but stocking the shelves and bringing in carts and all those things that make the customer's experience better. Those are all super important as well. So those take precedence and priority over other things that you might have to do that you've been asked to do. Not more important than safety, but the bulk of your job is going to be making sure that the people who come to your business for goods and services are getting the things that they need. The shelves are stocked, the floor is clean, the restrooms are clean, the carts are brought in, there's shopping baskets, there's short lines at the registers, all of those things. And there's a lot of things that make a customer experience better. Make sure that those things are getting done. The fourth thing is things that only affect your coworkers, like the break room or the back room. It's important those things be clean and organized for everyone's safety and health, but it's not more important than a spill out on the floor. It's not more important than helping customers. It's not more important than bringing in carts because customers need carts. So if the break room and the employee bathroom are on your list of things to do, they do not take priority over other jobs that affect the customers. So safety, customer service, and your coworkers in that order, but manager direction can change all that. If a manager tells you to clean the break room and tells you to stop what you're doing right now and go clean the break room, don't come back and say, oh, but that's not my priority. Well, it is now. If the manager told you to clean the break room and told you to stop what you're doing, there must be some reason for it, and it's on them. They're the one that's making that decision, so that's okay. So the manager's direction, your supervisor, your boss, whoever, can overrule all of this stuff. But when you have more than one direction from different managers, or the directions aren't clear, you should have questions. But if you have a lot of different things to do, this is one way to prioritize, make a plan for what's most important, and that is safety concerns, customer service concerns, and then everything else in the store or restaurant or office or business or factory, any of those things. Knowing your priorities will help you in your life and your daily work, help you get more done. Ask questions. If you don't know which task is more important, ask for advice. Okay. If you can't find a manager, ask someone who's been there for a very long time, which do you think is more important that I do right now? I've got these two different jobs. Don't spend a lot of time making that decision, get it all done, but it's okay to ask questions. And that will just help you learn for next time that this job is more important than that job. And that when this job comes up, you have to do it right away. Putting away cold food in a grocery store, if you have go backs, you have to put them away. When the item that's going back is frozen or cold, that's a priority over the other go backs. So as soon as you get a chance, you're going to take that cold item back to the freezer or the refrigerator so it doesn't spoil. Cold items would be a priority. Is it more important than a wet spill? No. Safety is still more important. So you can see that it gets a little complicated. Ask, ask, ask. Communication is super important in lots of parts, but especially in prioritizing. Here's some more tips and tricks. Make a to-do list. We talked about it. Decide which jobs on your list are the most critical, the most important things that you need to get done. Use technology. I love my Google Calendar. I set things, even mundane things like feed the dog. I put it on my calendar so that it reminds me to feed the dog, right? There's lots of different apps. If you don't want to use Google Calendar, you certainly don't have to. There's lots of productivity apps and to-do list apps that you can use to help you do a to-do list online. I just do on paper myself, but I also put stuff on Google Calendar all the time. If you don't know the importance of a task, ask your boss, ask your job coach, ask coworkers that have been there for a long time. It's okay to ask. You will learn, and maybe next time you won't have to ask. But please ask for advice when you're prioritizing tasks, deciding which things are more important. When you have a to-do list, do the things that are due first, then get them done first. So if you have different jobs with different deadlines, it's good to get the ones done that are due sooner. Get them done. You can put the other ones off a little bit later while you get that first one done. And then there'll always be distractions and interruptions. Deal with them and get back to work. Customers might feel like an interruption. Customers might be distracting. Your coworkers might be distracting. Just say, excuse me, and go do something else, but don't stand around and talk at work if it's keeping you from getting your job done on time. Customers, on the other hand, are not an interruption. They are your job. They can make it to where you're not going to get your other jobs done, but the managers understand that. And you still have, if you're a stalker at a grocery store, you have to stop and answer customers' questions. That's your job. Okay, it's not an interruption. That is your job. Stalking is something you do when you're not helping customers. Okay? Stalking is something that you do when you're not helping customers. Helping customers is the number one thing. They are not an interruption. Deal with those distractions and get back to your other job as quickly as possible, but help those customers. Thank you so much for watching this video about time management and priorities. Hope that you learned something. Thank you very much for watching.